Welcome to Blake Street Banter, where one of us knows what the word banter means. The other two are just along for the ride. Mike, say what's up.
What up, what up?
And Jace, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing all right. We are joined by Jace Kaminska, former Husker, now Fresno Grizzly, Colorado draftee prospect. And I'm pretty impressed that we're just starting on time. This isn't something that we normally get to do. So whether we have a guest or not. So Jace, thank you for being prompt and ready to go and doing that thing. So far, what is your biggest oh shit, I'm a professional baseball player moment so far, about a month into your professional career?
I would just say like the downtime probably. Between practices and everything, you just got a lot of free time. Don't have someone constantly on you for like study hall and turning in homework and all that, and just getting to be me and figure out my first job.
Yeah, you have all that downtime because there's no school. What are you doing between that downtime? Any hobbies you picked up or anything?
I've started golfing. I'm not any good. Like I don't know. I'd be lucky to break 100, I think. But other than that, because the way it's set up, you usually sleep in or whatever, and then then we come home late, and then, you can't really golf at night. So just on the off days, pretty much.
No simulators in the backyard or anything?
Stu's in here right now, and they just bought one of them VR deals, and they play VR golf. That's what he's
Love that. Remember the Wii back in the day? Like you had the Wii golf and the Wii Sports.
Oh yeah.
That might be a little bit before your guys' time. I might have just aged myself a little bit with that Wii thing there, but you got the VR set. Like you guys are cooking right now. So downtime golf, you're doing all right as a professional, as an adult. You had to call mom or anything, like how to do laundry or like any get the recipe books from Wichita or from Kansas back up there?
Nothing really. I did my taxes for the first time this year, so that's been about the only thing like that, figuring out some of my adulting things or how to pay the bill maybe. But
right.
That pretty normal.
Yeah, get used to it. They don't stop and they just keep getting bigger and bigger. But that is what it is. So like baseball wise, you have the Nebraska shirt on. I have the Nebraska hat on. That was pretty exciting for me, like making this connection with finally somebody from Go Big Red to the Colorado Rockies to just me being a fan. And like my son was pretty excited. He's like, wait, you're talking to somebody who played for the Huskers who's now playing for the Rockies? Like, that's awesome. He's 6 and he doesn't quite get it, but it's like, all right, we're doing all right. But like, I guess what was your biggest takeaway from just your time in Lincoln? Like you came from Wichita State after 2 years, maybe 3 years in Wichita State, and then you had your 1 year in Lincoln. Kind of what was kind of the big takeaway just from Big Ten baseball, I guess?
I think the two biggest things probably for me was just coming from Wichita was such a small school, but Wichita, is an old baseball dynasty school, but it's fallen off in a way like Husker football. But just like being in an actual college town, that was huge because Wichita was a lot like a JUCO in a way, but like there's some goods and bads to both. But having a downtown atmosphere, football, and then just with Coach Bolt there, they were really big on team and like brotherhood and stuff. And at Wichita was more pro ran, and it was just kind of like a toxic environment in a way. But Nebraska, you were really able to like open up to guys, and like actually guys wanted to hang out with each other and stuff. Like at Wichita, it was very cutthroat, and so it was just hostile. I went from hostile to bigger and better, and playing in front of fans was always great.
Yeah, that field, was it? Is it Haymarket Field still?
Yeah, Haymarket Park.
Yeah, Haymarket Field. I love Haymarket Park, that right field. I hung out in Haymarket right field quite often. It is a good place. Like just Nebraska fans, there's nothing else to do, right? Like there is nothing to do in Lincoln, so they're going to show out, and they do show out well. Did you ever make your way to a football game or a volleyball game?
Yeah, I went to 3 or 4 football games, and then I know my parents came one weekend and we went and watched want to say like Minnesota game. I went to some basketball. Never went to wrestling. I went to like fall volley or like the early preseason volleyball.
Yeah.
Once we got busy or whatever, we got busy with fall ball. So then my weekends were ate up.
Yeah. And those tickets are probably hard to come by anyway. Like that place fills up.
Well, and the volleyball arena too. It's like the little free athlete tickets that you get. They're literally in the rafters. Like,
yeah,
there's no chair. It's standing room only, and it's like this little like catwalk thing that they got like a little rail around, and it's not very good tickets.
So like, yeah, at a certain point, you just kind of have to like, no, I think I'm good. My safety is most important right now. Love that. So, and then I would be amiss if I didn't ask this. Runzas, 0 or 1. 1, you'll eat it. 0, you won't ever again.
I wouldn't eat it. It'd be a 0. Yeah.
That's the Kansan coming out of you right there, but that's fine.
I'm just not. It's got that cabbage and onions and stuff. I'm just not big on that.
I mean, you can get it without the cabbage, extra cheese.
I guess I've never tried that, but I usually settle for the burger there.
Yeah, that's a good call. All right, so baseball stuff. All right, you're in Fresno. You're doing your thing. Like, what are you? 4, 5 starts in, 6 starts in. I should do a little bit better on that. Had a fantastic day yesterday. You had your 8 punchies over six innings there. Just kind of, again, what's kind of been the biggest takeaway going from Big Ten baseball to now the professional ranks?
I mean, I think just development wise, because now it's not so much team aspect. It's kind of like how far do you want to take yourself? So being able to be like coachable and adaptable, because you don't always get to pick where you go and stuff and what day you throw on. So all that stuff contributes, along with like just having like we got Rolando Garza as our pitching coach. He's really great at what he does. He's helped me a lot on like pitch shaping and stuff and developing like a put away pitch. And I think that's kind of been the bigger jump from college to now. Other than that, the game's pretty much the same, but just, yeah, it's more of the development side, not we need to win because there's 56 games.
Right.
What have you been working on the most in terms of like pitching?
Throwing like a real 12-6 curveball, a slider, and I've always thrown a changeup, but just like, fine tweaking it or whatever, making it best it can be.
And so, like, right on that, I asked my son, like, what's the one question you want me to ask him? He's like, well, how fast does he throw? So I have to ask you, how fast do you throw? And then is that your pitch arsenal, what you just described, your slider, changeup, curveball?
Yeah. I mean, how fast do I throw? I mean, I think this year I've been up to a 5. I think I live about a 3. And then what was the other part?
Just the whole pitch arsenal. So like maybe how are you kind of developing that slider and that 12-6, and what are you kind of working on?
Just kind of a feel point. On the curveball, I've struggled with. I try to make the action with my hand up front, and really you got to start making the action like behind your head, like back here, and just getting to the front of the ball there, and then. I have the ability to throw one of these like gyro sliders, which are like one of these bullet ones. And I'm new to the analytics because I'm very like non-technology kind of guy, old school. And so learning all this stuff that's effective is kind of cool. And then I have a lot of ride on my fastball. So it's just kind of a natural thing. So my fastball looks like it looks like it's going up. So to have that and then have the breaking ball come off of it, it makes a big separation gap in the zone, and it fools hitters.
This last outing was probably your best outing professionally. What was really like hitting? What pitch was really getting you there this past, I guess, yesterday?
I would say with like any of them that I may do well on is just establishing like the fastball command, because if I can establish the fastball, then I can keep them honest on like the breaking stuff. So like if I can hit a corner here, then I can really expand it with my breaking stuff down or away. And my breaking ball was really good and sharp down. So just being able to get ahead and really like set the tone with that fastball really put me in a good spot.
Do you, when you're in the bullpen, do you kind of feel if you're going to have a good day or it's going to be a little tedious? Like, do you get that feel that early?
Yeah, I guess because I kind of know myself now. I would say if I throw a really good bullpen, like where I'm hitting every spot, I tend to have a bad day, and it's the day that every time that I like kind of am all over the place and spraying it in the bullpen, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. I don't know why that is, but like if I'm doing good in a way, it's like I'm wasting bullets, and I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Like when things are just a little bit too good, you'll get, all right, so this is a little nerve wracking. But then like, all right, things are a little erratic. That means I got to figure this out. Maybe you're honing in a little bit on something or somewhere. Baseball is so mental. It's crazy how mental it is. Like, have you seen yourself grow in that aspect from Wichita State, from the kind of the tough mental environment? I can imagine what a kind of like we were speaking of to where you are now, like kind of where you are just like as a ball player between the ears.
Yeah, maybe not so much as like little pitching things, but I would say like maturity as far as like, getting older or becoming an older guy, like, just some things that you do or kind of the way you behave, being the older guy and always being like a weekend starter, in college, it made you kind of get hard fast, like, cause you're one of the guys at that point. So, really just being mature in like the routines and sticking to the process and, being adaptable and, cause you work with, now that it's professional baseball, I don't just work with one pitching coach or one head coach, I got like 30 coaches. So, not, like be able to listen, not just be stuck in your ways are some big things I've learned.
Yeah. Is there like with that, like, is there ever a time that you're just like, you kind of feel overwhelmed? Like you have a lot of people kind of coming in, like before in Huskerland, not so much. And then here you have, like you said, 30 or so coaches. Like any times it's just like, all right, I need you all to kind of just like back up and let me kind of hone in and do my own thing, or like.
Yeah, there's times with that, with like, some of the, we have like, we got coordinators and stuff that come around, and it's just kind of like, it can be that way because like you could be working with your pitching coach on one thing with your pitching coach that sees you every day, works with you every day because you're on his team. And then you got a coordinator who is looking at big picture, and then he comes in and he wants to, he might want the same end goal, but he'll tell you something differently to work on. Whereas, it's baseball. So you can't throw 5 things at once at it. It's never going to work. You got to take, work right. Baby steps this pitch and then go to the next. So there's some times with that where it will frustrate you, but you really just got to learn to listen and, just stick to yourself in the process.
How's California been? Because you've been in like Kansas, Nebraska. I don't want to be offensive, but pretty boring places. How's the California life treating you?
Don't want to be offensive.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm from a town of 150 people, and we don't even have, like all we got's a stop sign and a post office. We don't, and then where I went to high school has a gas station and like a Sonic, and that's it. And now I'm in California, and it's, I don't know, it's just crazy. Everyone's in a hurry. No one can drive. Yeah.
What's your favorite? I know you guys went to Stockton, Inland Empire. I don't know the other one. There's one more in there. What's your favorite like away team to face? Like location wise.
Well, I haven't seen them all. Everyone has said Rancho, or I think it's Rancho is really nice, or Rancho.
Rancho Cucamonga, yeah.
Yeah, they said Rancho is really nice, but I mean, out of the 3 that I've been to, we've been to San Jose, which is that's the worst one by far, but that park's like 300 years old. And then the Stockton was the best one, except for I had my wallet stolen on the trip. But,
yeah, we won't get into that. and you guys are set up pretty nicely in Chicansky. Like that stadium, it looks fantastic. We get a lot of good vibes coming from it. Like, is it really that nice to play in?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, just everything about it, because it used to be AAA, so they still run things at like a big league level, like the amenities and the amount of people that work there and just kind of how they handle everything. Whereas at some of the actual like low A parks, it's kind of like, oh, this is low A baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of spoiled almost.
Have you seen Parker T. Bear around? Any interactions?
Yeah, he rides his little 4-wheeler in every game and tries to high five.
You don't like Parker T. Bear? I don't.
Do we have some beef? Do we need to figure something out?
No, he's all right. He's just a mascot. He usually runs over the bullpen balls, which we're not too fond of. He'll just like try and jump his 4-wheeler and spill all the balls.
Oh, come on, Parker.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Steven to talk to Parker and see if we can keep those bullpen balls in the bucket, not knock him over. I mean, he sounds chaotic. He's always been kind of a chaotic creature.
Yeah, it's his thing.
That's his thing. All right. We'll get you out of here. We said 15 minutes, and so we appreciate you spending your time on this Monday night, your off day, and you're busy enough, so to speak. You have some virtual reality golf to figure out, but I have to end it on this. Maybe Mike has a different question. Do you eat cinnamon rolls with your chili?
Oh,
I wouldn't eat it together. Like you could like a meal and a dessert is what I would do it. I wouldn't.
You never have it next to it.
I mean, it's like a thing. Like when I grew up, like if you went to school, you'd always get cinnamon rolls on chili day, but I'm not one of them ones that will scoop it and eat it together.
No, never scoop it. But it'd be like, it's there at the time. You don't have like chili, you finish the chili and then eat the cinnamon roll. Like you have the cinnamon roll while you're eating the chili.
The Nebraska thing only.
I mean, I guess I'm for it, I guess. I don't know, but I've seen people scoop them together and stuff, and I am not for that.
No, dipping it, that's a wild move. That's not something I am raising my kids to do at all. But the cinnamon roll is a staple with the chili now. No more cornbread in this house. I had to figure out. I didn't know how far south it goes because I think it's Wichita. Their minor league team has an alternative jersey logo where it's this. They have cinnamon rolls in a chili bowl. Most positive.
I mean, they're the Wind Surge with the Twins, so I don't know what. I don't know. I would have seen them. So
it was new this year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. This is bad. Mike asked one more question.
Oh, so I'm doing everybody that I interview. I'm asking them if they can follow me on LinkedIn because I'm going into my sophomore year of college and I want my LinkedIn to look really cool by the end. So I'll send you the link. Is it okay if you give me a mutual?
Yeah. I don't even know if I know my login, but
oh man.
We'll figure it out somehow. Wichita chili buns. Yep. For those wondering, cinnamon rolls with the chili is a thing. The Wichita Wind Surge have an alternative jersey, the Wichita chili buns. It's kind of fun. Anyway,
there you go. So there's proof of it being in the wild. There you go.
Oh yeah, it's like a true Midwest thing. I didn't know how far south it went.
Yeah,
so I had to ask. But Jace, thank you for hanging out. Keep grinding. Keep doing your thing. You are fun to watch pitch. It's awesome. Yes. Keep doing your thing, and obviously go Big Red. And we got you. You're now one of our guys, and so keep grinding. Keep doing your thing. We got you on this end.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you, Jace.
See ya.
All right. That
fun stuff with Jace.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
And let's
figure out the layout. Yeah, so that good stuff with Jace, trying to figure it out there.
There you go.
He is definitely one of my favorite pitchers to start in the Fresno low A piece as we try to figure out there we go. Got it. As we figure out the layout. All right, we're back. So yeah, that was fun. It's interesting to see how guys take going from college to pro ball and all that step they make. And what he said about kind of the different coaches, different things you're working on is very common across all of minor leaguers going into it. And the fact that he's doing it while being dominant is pretty sweet.
Yeah, he's killing it so far. We'll get to that later because that whole pitching staff so far has been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, don't listen to Woody Page. There are good things happening on the farm. I don't know what that guy just was like out ready to troll some people doing it. It's doing
Got
weird
me.
things. Yeah, he got you. You don't know Woody
Yeah.
Page like that.
No.
Woody Page has been around the block a little bit too long, and he knows how to ruffle some feathers. But I mean, maybe that's the conversation. Let's start with that. So Woody Page goes out there. He's stirring the pot. He's doing a good thing. Basically said the Rockies and the AAA Isotopes, who are struggling pretty mightily right now, are a combined something and something like
19 and 50.
19 and 50. 19 and 50. Both are last in the leagues, but good things are about to happen, supposedly, he says. And it's a good call out. Not calling Woody out, Grant. I'm not doing that. I'm just
I am not.
kind of, though, I guess. It's the discourse, and that's why we have this podcast so we can banter about it and I don't know, get different perspectives. And Woody has his different perspective. I think he's wrong. I don't think there's no way he clicked on the link to go to the Hartford or Spokane or did any research with Fresno. Like, it's more Mike did, but like there's more to it than just like the AAA guys. Like the AAA guys, a lot of them are our friends, and there's a lot of good talent on that, but obviously something's missing from Hartford to the big league squad. And that was a pretty good point by somebody else made. Like there's a disconnect somewhere in that AAA range. Tigers are dealing with that nonsense too. Like people are raking at the AAA level and they're coming up to the bigs and they're not raking. Look at Torque, not able to do his thing. So like it's a whole kind of like epidemic across all of minor league baseball. It's just for me, it's a little frustrating when Woody, who's out here just getting reactions and it's working, it's getting us to talk about him. But like, there's more to it than just AAA and the majors, and you have all these dogs coming up that there is hope on the horizon. Like, have you seen Jaden Hill throw a 99, 100 mile per hour fastball up and in? No, I guarantee you Woody's never done that. If he has, Woody, our emails are open, our DMs are
Woody
open.
needs to follow us and he'll understand. He would have seen it.
I think he does follow us. He might be watching right now. He does follow us because he does that thing where, hey, my follows are open. If you respond in the next 15 minutes, I'll follow you. But he's never interacted with us. But it's just the discourse around Rockies baseball is very dark, very negative, and it's very easy. And for me, I'm kind of over it. Like, you can be frustrated. I can get all that. But like, I don't even know what I want to say. It's just
I get what you mean. Don't like ruin the vibe. Don't bring everybody down. Yeah.
Like, we all get it. Like, it's terrible. Like, it's not fun. There's no way the players are enjoying it. It's just not a good time for really much involved. And so like dogging on him with this 50 and 20, 17 and 50 record because the top two levels are not so good is ridiculous. And then he doubled down on the Rockies minor league system and ranked 21st overall and well behind the Padres, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and Giants. But the pet Rocks believe their draft and development philosophy is working. Honestly, he has a point. The draft and development thing isn't working very well. Like, even Thomas Harding threw an article out there the other day about the number one draft picks in the major leagues and what they've done are pretty slim between now and what, 2016, 2015.
Yeah.
Draft and development, sure, I get that. But there really is some changes that's happening since Billy's kind of came in the GM role. And there's this kind of emphasis on the pitching and that kind of stuff. Again, I don't think he knows who Carson Palmquist is or why Gabe Hughes is on or Jordy Vargas is on the IL, or if, again, I just don't think he's doing that dirty work for these clicks, so to speak.
Yeah, the MLB rebuilds take a lot longer than other sports if done correctly. I went on a little bit of a rant in the BSB group chat about the Astros and how like 15 years ago the Astros were this mediocre team, 70 to 80 wins a year. They got a new GM. The GM was like, hey, we're going to blow it up. We're going to trade everybody like we did last year. We had like 12, 13 trades last year. And then they lost 100 games 3 straight years, lost 92, I think, in the middle, or the sandwich between 2 92-loss seasons. Like, it sucked. People hated it in Houston. They were laughed at. Is anybody laughing at Houston now? If you're looking at Houston on the schedule, are you laughing? Like, I don't think you are because they lost those games. They got talent. The worst thing we can do right now is try to win 70 to 80 games. It's the worst thing we can do.
Right. And there is that middle ground. Like, what do? You hear it with kind of football. Like the Atlanta Falcons drafted Penix because they know they're going to be in that middle ground. And like, we don't have a chance for that quarterback in 2 or 3 years because we're going to be too good, but not good enough. And so it's like, all right, that middle ground kind of sucks. And maybe the frustration is, and I do agree with this, is the front office and the ownership isn't saying, hey, we're in a full rebuild.
Yeah.
People just want them to say that.
Yeah. The Astros said it. Like, hey, we're going to lose games.
But if you go look at Billy Schmidt's conversation with Patrick Saunders, he kind of says it. Like,
he does.
He really does without
Saunders,
like flat out saying it.
Yeah. The headline of Saunders' tweet might not imply that, but he did definitely sounded like they were more well aware of the situation than they were a year and a half ago, or even when they signed like Chris Bryant, which was, if there is something that's going to damper this rebuild, it will be Chris Bryant. So, who is on, by the way, 19th day on the 10-day IL.
Which, again, very frustrating. I get all that. And people that say Chris Bryant doesn't want to be here, doesn't want to play, you're full of shit. He's a professional athlete. I guarantee you he wants to be out there and doing his thing. Like, there's no way Chris Bryant is happy being on the IL and not doing what he was signed up to do. So
Chris Bryant does not like the way people talk about him right now. I promise you that.
I don't like it either. It's stupid. It's annoying. Like, it's ignorant. It's just ignorant. It's just I guess this is just like, people are people. Like, no matter, they're still players, but like, there's some negative discourse yesterday on the Twitter, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, calling me a name. He called me a putz. That was a good one. Blocked his ass. I'm not doing with that. So like, I don't know. Maybe this is a little ranty session with Aaron here, but it was like, you're calling me a Dick Monfort crony because I just disagree with you being a dick, and that kind of stuff. It's kind of annoying. It's exhausting. This is already a long season. Like, we can still have fun. We can still look at the positives. We can still find the positives. Like, God forbid us for looking at the starting rotation and looking at their ERA and not being in the bottom third. Like, we're 20th out of 30. Not great, but with where our pitching staff is and what it's supposed to be, I'm completely okay with where it needs to be. Like, nobody's mad about the starting pitching right now, which is not something anybody could have said earlier. But being mad that we pointed out that we're still terrible, like, that's just exhausting. And go watch the Yankees, go watch the Phillies. Then, like, they're a good team. Go jump on that bandwagon. Go tweet at them. It's just the idea of just like constantly saying the same thing over and over and over is exhausting to hear as fans. Again, don't support everything they do 100%, but perspective is important, and realizing these people are people and they're good people and they don't want to be bad at their job and they don't want to be on the injured list because of whatever reason. Like, don't be an idiot, I guess, and don't be a dick. That's what.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments saying Chris Bryant got benched and they're hiding it on the 10-day IL, which just isn't happening. Like, who do you get benched for? Because this lineup isn't scoring runs, so it doesn't make sense.
Right. So anyway, I think I'm done with my rant. I think I needed to get that out. Real life has been frustrating for the last 24 hours, and then just the Rocky banter on top of it. I think I needed to get that out. So my rant is done. Are you done ranting? Are you good?
Well, I'm never done ranting because I will defend. I'm checking. Okay, the White Sox lost, so we no longer have the worst record in baseball.
Beautiful.
So there's that. I would just always defend. I feel like Monfort. I feel like there's so many worse owners in the world. Like, we could be threatening to be moved. We could be wanting a new stadium, holding the town hostage. Like, there's so much worse. I think Monfort's like a decent dude who like just might not be like 100% in on the baseball thing, and I just don't really want to like insult personally this guy because he seems like a half. A lot of these owners are not good people, and Monfort kind of seems like a half.
He seems
like a good dude.
Yeah, and we might have to go do our research on that because there's probably something controversial that he said that we won't support if we find that out. But he does interact with fans. He does talk to fans. He does kind of
He was out there opening day or opening weekend.
Yeah.
He was out on the concourse. So
And it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like everybody's gonna be upset if Dick doesn't show up, and everybody's gonna be upset as soon as Dick says something. And it's I'm sure on his end it's got to be frustrating too. And it's like I don't know, be critical, but like be knowledgeable about your criticism.
I got one last thing. It was like a year ago. Dick was like, "We can play a 500 ball," and then we lost like 100 or something games. People were like, beyond like they were like being mad because he said we could be 500. The Marlins GM just came out and said we're not going to win. We're not going to make the postseason this year, and people are clowning this guy for not trying. So it's like obviously if you're in a position like the face of a bad team, there is nothing you can say to make fans happy, like at all. So they're just stuck. Like it's just it's the face of it. Like it's nothing you can do.
And if you want to be mad. That's fine. Just I guess be informed what you're being mad about. Like, but I guess that's all I really ask is be willing to banter about different ideas, different conversations, and come up with something new, something that hasn't been repeated over and over and over and over. It's the owner's fault. The owner needs to sell because of this, this, and this. Like, why? Like, where are you going with that? How do you fix this squad? How do you fix this team? And if you got to hire outside the organization, okay. And then what happens if it doesn't work? Then I don't know. And I'm not saying like they shouldn't look outside because they should. Like there are definitely some glaring nepotism issues that are very apparent. But to me saying that over and over every single time we have this podcast, it's not going to be fun for anybody, right? Like we can have fun. We can look at the positive. We can look at the good, and we can see that there is some kind of plan coming around. Could spin like crazy and still lose in the postseason with team loaded with superstars, unhappy like LA, right? Like they have their own issues over there. Kind of talked about that in the preseason. It's like you can spend all this money, you have all this, but like you're still not winning a World Series, so people are going to be mad about that. How do you blow that up, and how do you fix that? And the Yankees, like the St. Louis Cardinals, they have no idea how to lose, and it's absolutely
they don't know what the problem is either in St. Louis.
No, and like there's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
So like you can easily go to every single franchise and find something to be upset about, and then maybe I need to get off this little horse that I might be on the soapbox and just like, all right, maybe I just need to be angry at Dick and just say it over and over and over, but. I don't know. It's not fun for me. Like
Grant brings up a good point. We laugh at the Braves when they lose in the playoffs because they always do. They're chokers. Same thing with the Dodgers, right? Like every team, being a fan when you're like holding teams up to that pedestal, like that stool, like that bar, is never going to be fun. Because I mean, at least for me, I spent like the whole week watching the Yard Goats and Spokane Indians and Fresno Grizzlies, so I enjoyed the whole week. I'm not gonna lie, I had a great week. It was fun baseball. So if you hate the Rockies baseball, you don't like the product. Buy an MILB TV subscription. Watch Hartford. You will love it again. I promise you.
Yeah, the talent's insane. Like you can easily, especially nowadays, you can easily go find something positive to be happy about. And like
we get Chase Dollander and Sean Sullivan twice a week. Like, come on.
Right. Unfortunately, yeah. They're and then they're on the same day as Carson Palmquist, and then you have Kaminska to close it out, and then you have Isaiah Cope spending 3,000 in RPMs and
coming in
Fresno.
Every other night you get Dugan coming in.
Yeah, there's too many good things to be this upset about.
Agno's coming in automatic.
Ranting and raving about the owner because you can't find the time to go find something good. Anyway, let's talk about the good. Should we just skip over Albuquerque? Like after our little rant there. I mean, it's rough in Albuquerque. They had back-to-back losses. They had one pitcher figured out altitude, and he had 2 wins on the week against the Isotopes. I think his last name was Anderson. But Drew Romo, his hitting streak did end at 21 games. Scorching hot though, like you said, 10 out of 18, a triple and a homer. That power stroke is starting to come along a little bit. Sam Hilliard broke the Albuquerque Isotopes home run record. He's hitting like crazy. Jamison Hanna was like, hey, guys, I'm here. I was still prized possession of a trade a few years ago. I can still run it back. And he started his season 5 for 12 with a homer and a 1.212 OPS. There's a lot of good things happening. And the staff it's a patchwork staff. It's very major league like. Jeff Griswold's having a hard time finding the the zone, walking a lot of players in his relief appearances. Carl Kaufman had a rough outing. Noah Davis is in Arizona. It's not official, but I saw some things that he posted that he's in Arizona working on something. That's why we didn't see him all week. So, like, it's rough, and we can be critical about that, but Coco Montes has multiple hit games like every time he goes out. Jimmy Heron has no on base percent streak going to 21 games, 22 games. Like, there is still some good things that you can find while watching these games.
Yeah, I think Albuquerque, you mentioned it today in the rundown, which if you guys are not following the rundown, great stuff in there. The attendance has been out great. I think 5 digits for 2 games in a row. Like, insane stuff for a AAA team. Yeah. I love it. I mean, Albuquerque's fans always show out. I mean, this week has been kind of a weird week. They had a lot of innings where they just had like a disastrous 8-run inning given up. And you give up an 8 runs in an inning, you're probably not winning that game.
Right.
And that happened like 3 times this week, and especially in the middle of the week. But I mean, we'd see there's still things to hang the hat on. I like Peyton Battenfield a lot. He made his start against us, again, for the Guardians. His major league start was against us. I like what he can bring. I think he can be a good back end of the rotation guy. Kyle Wilcox showed some strikeout ability. I think he was with the Braves trade, so we're seeing some trades getting. I think a lot of actually these guys are from trades.
No, Kyle Wilcox, I think it's a free agent.
Oh, I'm wrong. And then we got Josh Rogers put out probably one of the better performances we've seen for an Albuquerque Ice Dogs pitcher. Like 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs this week.
Yeah, he had a gem. He pitched really well.
Yeah. And he still got the loss, which is just unfortunate. If you go 7 innings and no earned runs and you get a loss in Albuquerque, I would give everybody the cold shoulder if I'm
right.
Josh Rogers.
Yeah, he doesn't even start that much. Oh, no, that was wrong. I'm thinking of somebody else. He has 48 games, 123 starts, so I was wrong with that. Yeah. And 12 of his 30 major league starts or appearances were starts. So he might be somebody they need to rely on. Might need to call on.
Who definitely be in purple. Rockies purple this year.
And like some of the arm barn guys, like Evan Justice and Gavin Hallowell, are on the IL. So it's just frustrating right now if you're in Albuquerque and like you just can't find a groove. The walks are kicking their ass. Like the pitch staff's just giving up too much walks, and I guarantee you they know about it. And they're some days like it works, and I do wonder how much of that is the ABS. You have to pitch a little bit different. It's not all just the guy behind the catcher calling it. Like you have an ABS that you have to worry about. You have this rectangle that you have to be in, otherwise you can be challenged, and you have to be probably a little bit more pinpoint, I think, on those pitches. With
Beck, I think Beck strike out. I wish I could talk to Beck, be like, hey, what's the difference between the AAA strike zone and the MLB strike zone? Because he's been striking out a lot. And I almost said, like, I wonder if it's just like an adjustment thing. Granted, he's been screwed on a lot of pitches outside. I wonder if that's like there's got to be a difference, right? When it comes
you're taking that pitch on the outside down in AAA because it's going to be a ball. You can be challenged, like, all right, he called it a strike. No, that's a ball. I know my zone.
So you can't, I guess,
you challenge that
and protect more in the MLB because there's no guarantee, like benefit of the doubt, I guess.
Yeah, and honestly, that might be part of the whole call-up issue. Like call-ups are struggling coming up, and I wonder if some of it is to do with that.
Yeah.
That
hey, if you think it's outside, don't swing because you can just double tap your head and it'll tell you. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, it's really quick and it's done in 5 seconds. So it doesn't take.
We'll have to ask because that makes a lot of sense.
There's got to be something to that.
Because something that small will be huge in baseball because that's just how baseball works. Like,
and the rough part is none of those guys are going to admit to that. Like, no, I should just be better.
Yeah, we got to ask like Pacheco. We might have to ask.
Hey, no, he has his own thoughts on robot. Did you see his independent ball? It might have been before your time. They had robo umps in his last season of professional ball at the independent league, and he like lost it.
Yeah, I can see why now because it's just so exact. I kind of like the little bit of a gray area. I'm a big fan.
As long as it's consistent by the big league guy, like nobody really cares. But again, you have to adjust it.
It usually is consistent. Most of the time, they're pretty good.
Yeah, most
when
of the
they're not, you'll see it. So.
Yeah, and that's what we can all bitch about. Like that's what we can all get frustrated about. I should watch my language. Sorry, Mom. It's that kind of stuff we can get collectively upset about. But Hartford Yard Goats have kind of their own issue. Like we talked last week about how good this offense is, and how good it can be. And it just hasn't clicked on all cylinders. Like there's a lot of inconsistency. Benny Montgomery's still in the IL, still hasn't been showing up. He hasn't played since April 20th. He's getting the kind of Chris Bryant treatment on whatever this might be. Hopefully he's okay. This kind of happened to him last year and the year before, these extended stints on the IL. But I mean, I guess talk about your boy. Talk about AA there.
Amador?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amador's been struggling, I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. I went down last night. I couldn't go to sleep, and I went down the pipeline top 100. And for the dudes that aren't 18 or 19, Amador is by far struggling the most. But I think Amador, I think he'll be fine because I still like his bat to ball like skills, and I think that translates just way more than straight raw power. And like Eastern League's tough. We didn't hit a lot. We had 28 runs this past series, which is tied for the lowest this week in the Eastern League. The team tied with us was the team we were playing. So it was a pitching duel every game. So it wasn't just us. Binghamton, too, went out there and pitched. So the pitchers had fun this week. But Amador struggled. Sterling struggled. It was a lot of struggling. Veen hit an absolute 600-foot home run.
It was a bomb.
Even the away announcer was going nuts about it. Or I guess home announcer was going nuts about it. So Amador went 0 for 14. I mean, even before this, he was struggling. I think we're about to hit the panic button. I think I told you next week is like the official panic button week. Mm-hmm. This time next week, we'll see if Tyler is on board with the panic button. And I just hope he can turn it around, man. Just one good week, string a couple of multi-hit games, and it's a whole new season, basically, if he does that.
It really is. He still has 17 walks to his 15 strikeouts on the season.
He struck out a lot this past week. 6 strikeouts this past week.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like before that, he was 16-10, like 16-9 walk to strikeout to walk rate. So like that's still part of his game. And maybe he's getting frustrated too. Like, all right, I'm tired of walking. I want to hit the ball. So maybe I'm going to push myself a little bit. Again, this time of the year is terrible. I have absolutely no time to watch anything. But as soon as May's over, watch out. I'm going to be pulling a mic and watch these games a little bit closer. Like I love watching these kids hit. Yeah, Yankiel, I said last week that I thought he's about to have a breakout. 5 for 15. He's making more contact, but no extra base hits in that time. So I don't know. There is some panic on the Hartford Yard Goats thing. It's also terrible weather. It's very cold. No, it's very inconsistent. You don't know what you're doing, where it's going. I know that does play a factor. Again, none of these guys are going to count that as a reason they're not hitting, but I think that there is something to that.
It's pitching league too. You gotta remember.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Quezada. I know we talked about him last year, but like, dude's a dog. Yeah. Like, there's something about just the way he pitches. I have no idea what it is, but I'm memorized every single time.
It's the dudes that don't get a lot of strikeouts that just get it done. Like those are my favorite type, like the Logan Webbs, where it's like they'll make some contact, but it's never going to be a home run. Like it's going to be like, or not going to be a double. It's going to be he's going to make the fielders work, and I just love seeing that type of baseball. It's more fun to watch. I mean, well, I like seeing our guys go out there and dominate, but
yeah, like strikeouts are cool, right? But like when you're being able to pitch the contact and you're like doing it smartly, it's fun. Like that's why I love Jared Candy too. He's a grinder. So it's awesome. So if you can see Andrew Quezada, he usually pitches, I think he's a Wednesday, Thursday starter. And so if you can watch an Andrew Quezada start, definitely get in there. Brendan Hardy, friend of the pod, got his inning, 2K. Connor Van Scoyoc, a little bit better. He struggled pretty out the gate, pretty mightily, but 5 innings, 5 Ks. Then Mason Albright, his first 2 starts were miserable. Like Woody Page would be upset if he saw Mason Albright's first few starts, but he figured it out this week. And his stuff is fun. Like he's got some good stuff too.
Yeah,
I think consistent with his delivery, which is always cool.
Yeah, the silver lining this week for Hartford is like the pitching staff was really good. Even like Palmquist did have a down. I think he let up 3 runs in 6 innings or 5 innings, which isn't like going to kill your ERA. It's still probably like 2 to 3. Like we're still looking at Palmquist saying, "Oh, that dude rocks."
Right.
But like the pitching's been great. Jaden Hill went out there for 1 inning, made 3 batters fall out of their shoes, and then left the field. Like that's awesome. Love seeing that. Like,
dude, they found something in Jaden Hill. Jaden Hill will be a rock by the end of the year.
I was looking back at my Photoshop documents made. Last year, he was our number 6 prospect on the BSB, or 7 on the BSB big board. We were big believers in him. And there was obviously there, like without injuries, his baseball talent's one of the best in any
insane.
system.
Yeah. Just could not find it as a starter. And they're like, all right, good for the Rockies though, right? Old regimen might not have done this. So suck on that, Woody. But like, it's all right. We see what this guy could be, and we can see what he can do as a reliever. And here we are. And so he is going to be a lockdown closer. So
are we missed the Ainhel Chavihi. Sorry, I kept pronouncing the name wrong.
Ainhel Chavihi.
He did get caught up. Didn't make any. Did he make any innings? I didn't watch. No.
Nope.
Well,
he got his cup of coffee.
Got his cup of coffee.
But no debuts.
I think you get more money too if you have service time. So good for him. I'm pretty sure. That's how
I mean he's on the he got a major league contract, right? He got optioned.
Yeah. So there you go.
He got paid a little number 57, awesome. And you could tell he was stoked about it. Like if you look at his Instagram stuff, it's like he's happy. Like I mean, why wouldn't you be? So huge props to him. But he's back with Hartford. He'll be with Hartford this week because J Law, congrats on the kid, is with the big league squad doing his thing. It was kind of cute. He posted on his Instagram story just walking the newborn baby out in the neighborhood. So again, they're people.
There you go. People to root for, guys.
Like,
come on.
Human beings. Like nobody can be mad about a newborn. So go have fun with that. So and then let's go to Spokane and Fresno. Brought to you by Daily Controls, the automation needs that you need. Your button won't button if your lights won't blink. Daily Controls can travel out to you and do whatever you need to help fix your automation. Go ahead and email him at dailycontrolsllc@gmail.com. Nope, info@dailycontrolsllc.com. Daily DALY, and tell him BSB sent you. And again, he just wants an email. Just send him an email right now and just say, hey, Mr. Daly, what's up? And he'll be happy. So make our sponsorship proud and just go have fun with him. Spokane Indians. Sunday got rained out. Northwest is going to be rainy, but I mean, if we don't start with the man, Braden Ward, I don't know if we're doing anything right. Dude, man had 6 stolen bases. One of his first stolen bases was the steal of home, which was absolutely insane. Super speedy. Like it's what he loves to do. He loves just to be a nuisance, a little gnat on the diamond, and he just lived up to that day. What do you go 6 for 6 or like 5 for 5, 6 for 6 that day with 6 stolen bases?
I think it was 5 for 5. It was like 4 for 4 with like a hit by pitcher.
Wow. It was perfect. Yeah. Maybe it's on base 6 times or something ridiculous. But Braden Ward set minor league records.
Yeah, the catcher for Eugene hated this guy. I mean, it was every single time this guy got on base, he took off. Spokane as a whole was taking advantage of the Eugene catcher. Or pitcher was throwing curveballs a lot and was able to get some timing on it. But the steal of home, like
that was fun.
Spokane, I will continue to die on this hill. Spokane, Fresno, Hartford is most. I think it's the most fun I've ever had watching baseball. And these steal of home, you see that Hartford had a game the other day where everybody got on base, but everybody kept getting out on base. Like there was like 8 hits, but 0 runners left on, score 0-0. Like they kept stealing. Like, it was. Anyways, I'll stop talking about Hartford. But yeah, Braden Ward, he tied the record, or I think he set the record for most stolen bases in a game. I think he tied it. So he's gone in the history books. He had 8 on the week, so it wasn't just one game. Speed kills, and he's hitting the ball too. He was the best hitter this past week for Spokane.
Yeah.
Even above Jorge Carros. Like, this guy, we didn't really talk about him before, but this guy rocks. This guy's awesome. He's getting on base. He's stealing. Doing great stuff with glove.
He makes baseball fun to watch.
Yeah, he's the epitome of, like, must watch. Like, when he's on the base, it's must watch. And I might, every time he's on base, I might, like, tweet, be like, tune in now, Braden Ward's gonna steal or something like that.
Yeah, have a Braden Ward's watch. He's a friend of the pod. He's awesome, and he was Candy's roommate last year in Spokane. He loves Taylor Swift, so if you can find some kind of Taylor Swift connection to stealing bases, I mean Taylor stole some hearts, so stealing some bases from Braden Ward, he would dig that. He's a fun guy. He's a good guy. He's always smiling. He has fun. Even though he has every reason to be frustrated, he's still in Spokane, and he's kind of proved that should be in the lineup every single day. But he's still smiling every single time he's out there. So
he looks like Patrick Lyons. I don't know if that's just me saying that, but like
he has a little vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Are you concerned at all that Spokane had 0 home runs this week? It's not a very big power lineup, but
I was gonna say I'm not really that worried. I think 1 week sample size. Like we could say the same about Hartford. Are you worried they're not hitting the ball? Like they will hit the ball. But yeah, no, I didn't even think about they didn't hit a home run this week.
Nothing.
Yeah, sheesh. No, that means they're gonna hit double next week. Law of averages.
Double is 0, still 0. But I know what you mean.
I mean, like double the average, yeah.
They're gonna go ham out there, yeah. So that'll be good. And then pitching wise, Agnos continues just to be a shutdown piece.
Yeah,
I think he's allowed 1 run all season.
I think it's 0.
Is he still zeros?
I think it's 0 run. He's turned into a guy where it's like they kind of tell him to get like 4 to 5 outs now. It's not just 3 because he's so quick and so like he's able to get these outs so quickly. You don't need to give him 3. You can be like, hey, 7 and a third, go out and finish the game for us, win the game. And he does
this. Yeah. So his year stats. So he has allowed a run, but it was unearned.
Okay.
And what makes him so good is he only has 2 walks out of the 10.1 innings pitched.
Yeah, he commands the strike zone. It's awesome.
Walk batters and good things happen. I sound like Buddy Blackie right now, but like 16 strikeouts to 2 walks is insane. I mean he's impressive.
I was gonna say like when's he gonna get called up, but we have like Dugan, AAA, Pint. We love Pint. Then you have Chivy, Hill down there. Even like I love Mejia. Like it's like we have so many arm barn dudes. It's fun. Like I post the strikeout compilations. I need to do Jaden Hills because I forgot he had such a good performance. But it sucks when I'm like in bed at night. I'm like, dude, I have to do so many of these because these guys just strike out everybody.
You should pick like a dude a week. Like just do all Agnoses this week.
When I have like a 15-minute between, it used to be like between classes, but like between like things I have to do in the day, I like look and see if anybody had like more than 3. And I'm like,
let's click that. But yeah, that'd be fun. And like the starting rotation, still doing great. Connor Stain had a little rough outing from his stint. He wasn't able to make it to Vancouver because of passport issues.
Rehab. Is that one?
Yeah. So it wasn't really rehab, but he was down in Arizona, came back up to the cold, didn't do so well. He looked pretty good the first 2 innings, then the 3rd inning just kicked his butt. And so just the inconsistent, he allowed a few home runs and walks there. Expect him to bounce back. But one guy
missing something for sure. It was just something was off. It wasn't Connor Stain. It was just a little rust.
Something was off. I think Carson Skipper has been doing his thing. I'm going to look up his stuff right now. He's been pretty much lights out for the Spokane Indians arm barn.
Yeah, you can pick a name on Spokane's pitching staff, and it's just like these guys aren't letting up hits. Yep. It might be the Northwest during this time, rainy, so that might be why. But that's not causing the strikeouts, so there's that.
Nope. 0 earned runs for Carson Skipper. Yeah, 9.2 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts to 2 walks. So a lot of the Sean Sullivan, the Chase Dollander, the Carson Palmquist, a lot of their success is just being around the zone, in the zone. And you have these guys, Agno, Skipper, again, go down the line, that are just not walking people. And like this is, it's just part of his MO. Even in Auburn, he walked a little bit, probably 14 walks in 58 innings pitched his last year in Auburn. 10 walks last year out of 50 innings. So like they're just not walking people. And
whatever, we just bottle it up and get it to the Rockies. Whatever you guys are drinking in the water in Spokane.
Right. Like, yeah, take it to Hartford and get seen and go make your way up to the major league. So a lot of good things there in Spokane. It's just fun. Again, it's fun baseball. You'll have some moments where like, all right, there's a reason these guys are in the minors, a little frustrating, but there's good things happening. Like Fresno Grizzlies were started out hot, and then a little bit long of a week, but they did have the Jake Snyder, who leads all of minor league in slugging or on base.
basically.
everything average. He is the Colorado Rockies hitter of the month, offensive player of the month for April. 333 batting average, 604 slug, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run, and 12 RBIs in the month of April to start off the season. He is 25. He is probably a little bit too old for this level. He's definitely, like what Tyler said last week, just kind of a fill-in for that. Doesn't mean that should take anything away from what he did. So huge props to Jake Snyder doing his thing, just still being a grinder, still being a baller, still being a shot caller.
I was gonna say he reminds me of like when like the varsity team has a bye week, so you just like a couple of the varsity guys come down and play JV. Like hell yeah, we had this guy. Like it's like a little unfair almost. That's what it looks like right now with Fresno.
He just goes out there and he's about to get on base.
Yeah.
It's just
like he had a down week and he batted like 375.
Just insane. So that was awesome. And then while I'm on the topic, the Carson Palmquist is the organizational pitcher of the month. Beat out Dollander and beat out Sullivan. 23-year-old, 2-1 with 4 starts, 1.23 ERA. Struck out 32 and walking only 9 in those 22 innings pitched. Opponents only hit 206 against him and threw 64% strikes. Again, strikes are fun. The strikes are fun. Go ahead and stop being mad at Dick Monfort and watch some minor league baseball. If you get anything from this podcast this week, it's that.
And it's all about balls and strikes. Gotta remember that.
Mm-hmm. Just throw a lot of them. I mean, that's why Albuquerque's struggling. That's why Rockies are struggling. So you got some good things coming up, whether or not you like it or not. Fresno, Kaminska, dog, Austin Eminer. Like we keep saying his name every week. He comes out.
Yeah.
He comes out like every 5 innings, six strikeouts every time. And then Isaiah Kopay, your strikeout compilation of him the other day was
took forever to make, man.
Just that spin rate is insane.
No, that one I hate when they have 11 because come on, Isaiah. I want to make this, but this is gonna take 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're supposed to make it easy. Yeah, 11 strikeouts.
I love it though. The starting pitching staff is the great. I mean, we just talked to Kaminska. He's just a dog. We have Emner, which I wasn't aware of Emner until Isaac brought him up.
Nobody.
Isaac's really smart. So when you have someone like Isaac or even Tyler be like, hey, this guy's good. You're like, oh, this guy's good. That's
say less.
Yeah, this guy's I'll take your word for it. Coupe is just a strikeout machine. Right. And then you have Mahoney out of South Carolina. Everybody knows Mahoney. We need to find a good nickname for him, like Money Mahoney or something like that. But yeah, I think he got beat up, I think, this week a little bit. But
yeah, he had a rough outing.
Yeah. And then Pacheco is Alberto Pacheco. No one really talks about him, but if you guys listen, Stephen Rice does this pregame interview with every single game with the player, and I listened to Pacheco's, and it was really good. He struggled last year. This year he's doing. I feel like this year it's every single time he goes out there, it's 1 earned run, 0 earned run, couple Ks, just getting through it. This rotation is so fun. And the beginning of the year, we were like, Fresno's it's all right, but now it's all 5 of these guys I'm in love with. I love watching these guys pitch.
Dude, Pacheco throws gas too.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, and then offensively, they're still young guys, still trying to find the groove. Braylon Wimmer had a kind of an off week. Andy Perez, your boy, kind of struggled. But Fidel Cruz showed up out of nowhere, 5 for 16 with a homer, and Caleb Hobson, 4 for 12, a triple. Those are a few names that I've said constantly on that morning whip around. So a lot of good things happening in Fresno.
This week was we went kind of cold this week. The middle of the week, we lost 4 straight. We just bats got cold and we couldn't really do anything. But the middle of the sandwich wasn't great. But the bread games,
the whole wheat bread on the outside, no crust was pretty solid. They were good games. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I keep saying it. It's just fun, and there's these guys have fun playing it. They're out there trying to do everything they can, but also be a teammate, but also do everything for themselves and take all of this in. Like what Jace was saying at the beginning, it's just all right, I have 30 guys coming at me in certain ways, and I have to take all of this in and process this as a professional. And all right, this is what I have to get used to. And you're doing all that and being productive against top level talent across the board. You're facing the Padres minor league system. You're facing the Giants minor league system. you're facing your foes for the next
The
20
Mets,
years right now.
Mets were Binghamton, so there you go.
So like it's all there, and it's all fun, and you can find the good. Go find the good. You can be ranty. We rant about you being ranty, but
there's some fun stories though on it.
It can be fun.
Every single level. There's dudes to root for, and that's always fun.
And some of these guys are going to be coming back from injury, and it's going to be even more fun.
A lot of dudes coming back from injury.
July, August, when we get Cox and Hughes and Vargas and go down the line.
We got draft talk, which we have to start putting that out. I'm so excited for that, just to learn what Tyler has to say.
Tyler,
3 picks in the top 42. This is huge for us.
Yeah, Tyler and Luke are definitely grinding on the back end. I think we're going to try to do a college pod next Thursday. Not in 4 days, but in 11 days. So keep an eye for that.
Excited to learn.
Yeah, it's just learning. Again, we have a lot of smart dudes, and we're probably the 2 dumbest ones on the team. And here we are just doing this. We need the smart guys out here. All right, send us off. What are some promos to look forward to for people that are at the home areas?
Only one this week. Only Fresno has. Well, only one team has a home stand, Fresno, which means not only do we get promos, we get Stephen Rice, the voice of Fresno. When it's an away game, we don't get to listen to Stephen Rice, at least on the MILB TV feed.
Yep.
Never fun when I don't get to listen to Stephen Rice. So Friday, Star Wars night. Sucks they couldn't do it on May the 4th. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
May the 4th sucks, but Friday night, I wonder what uniforms they'll wear, because I know Binghamton had some really cool uniforms they wore against us for Star Wars night. Saturday's Christian Fellowship night, and I think it's a T-shirt giveaway or hat giveaway. So there you go.
If it's the hat giveaway, I saw it's a pretty solid hat.
Yeah, love to see it. And then Sunday, I still don't know what this is. Wait, who are these guys? Night? I don't know. Did they tell us about this?
They did. I forgot what they said though.
Well, you guys will have to figure it out. It's a mystery. I think it's a different jersey night. I want to say it's the Fresno Tigers is coming out, but I don't want to put that out there. No. That doesn't say anything on the website. And then it's also Mother's Day on Sunday. So thank your mother for being your mom. They do a lot for us. I'm sure everybody knows that, but they probably do more than you think.
Oh, I think. Wait, who are these guys? This might be the Oatly thing.
Oh, it is. It's definitely the Oakley because they're doing the raffle. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Oh, I don't like that.
I think it might be the Oatly thing.
It definitely is. They're doing a go check out. They're raffling off the jerseys for. I don't know if it's charity or for milk. I don't know.
For oats,
milk,
whatever oat milk is. But
you can move on.
At least we can check the box. All right, they did that. We can move on, and that would be 2 of the 4 affiliates.
2 of the 4, yeah.
So,
are you a fan of those?
No. It's a fun concept. It's just weird that it's oat milk from Denmark.
If it was Jell-O or I don't know, Frosted Flakes cereal, I'd be all over it.
Right, give me a Tony the Tiger on everybody's.
Yeah,
just take us back. Milk. I don't know, but oat milk. But also, it's a good. It's a good advertising campaign. We're here talking about oat milk on a Monday night. So,
well, what oat milk are we talking about? They don't know.
Oatly.
Nah. You're waiting for that sponsor. All right.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, right. No free ads. But let's end it there. We're an hour in. Got some Jace Kaminska. Got some quick recap. We'll have Tyler back on tomorrow. Maybe we dive into some more player specific guys. If you have any ideas of who you want us to dive into, why is this guy good or bad or whatever, maybe we do a little bit of that going forward somehow, some way. We don't have the data that we do for the major leaguers, but it could be something we can do. This week, I don't think there's anything really on our docket. Keep an eye out for the.
Whoa! Did the Spotify get to 10 listeners?
Nope. We're trying to figure it out. So if you are listening to this, go to your Apple, your Spotify, your YouTube, and click in Daily Colorado Rockies MILB Daily Whip Around. Yes, it's a terribly long name, but it is me talking every morning about the night before's games. Quick box score looking, and it takes about 5 to 7 minutes. If you listen on 1.5 speed, you're done in 4 minutes. So why not go ahead and listen, subscribe, and just get to know these players a little bit better.
You're just not a fan if you're not.
Right. You just don't like fun. You just don't like fun. All right, you ready for the button?
Yeah. I got it.
Go Rocks! Minor League affiliates. Woo! Thank you for watching and listening. Please check out our link tree for more content.